Okay, third graders, we are going to start today. We are on lesson 5, refraction and lenses, and we are doing part 1. One thing I want you to pay attention to is we are not doing reflection. Everybody look at that word for today's lesson. Refraction. This is refraction. We're going to learn what refraction is. We're going to see examples of refraction, but you're going to see reflection and refraction throughout the course of this unit. So one thing I want you to make sure you're doing is reading through the word to make sure you either have reflection, or refraction, because it's definitely going to be different, and you need to know the difference between them as we're reading. If you mix them up, especially in your brains, you're going to be thrown off. So we'll go ahead and jump into our vocabulary. Quick glance at today, though. We have an activity page for our reading. We're going to read chapter 4. We have our read aloud. We're going to talk about cause and effect, and we're going to talk about y and ly on the end of adjectives and making sure we're using those, or adverbs, sorry. Making sure we're using those correctly, and we have an activity page to go with that. And we should be good for the day. Today, our first word is the word instruments. What is our word? Instruments. When we're talking about instruments, these are not necessarily, and especially today, not musical instruments that we are discussing necessarily. It's mechanical or electronic tools designed and used for a specific purpose. So yes, there are instruments that make music, right? But there are also tools that are used for a specific purpose. So tools for fixing things, instruments that are used to work with computers, has a specific purpose. Our next word is the word lens. What's our word? Lens. A lens is going to be a clear plastic or a clear piece of curved glass or plastic. So it's curved. What do we know about things that are curved? Convex. Good. We have that convex if it's curved. It could also be curved in, and that would be concave. Concave. So we can have both. A clear piece of curved glass or plastic that is used in order to make things look clearer, look larger, or look smaller, depending on how it is set up. So it has the purpose of kind of changing that look of something or how we see it. So we put it on the ground. Our next word is the word refraction. What's our word? Refraction. Refraction is going to be the act of light changing direction or bending as it travels through different objects or substances. So we would think that light is going to go straight through it, right? But what we're going to see is that with refraction, when that light is traveling through something, it can change direction, as we see here. We see the ray going through, and it's traveling out in kind of that different direction. And we're actually going to see an example in our book today. And if we have time, we'll do an example in our classroom as well. But we're going to see that. We're going to see what it looks like with refraction. And our last word is one we've done already, but our word is translucent. What's our word? Translucent. Translucent describes an object that allows some light. Do we do translucent? No. No, we did. Which one did we do? We did transparent. We're going to do translucent. It's going to be an object that allows some light to pass through it. When we did our experiment with the flashlight and the different objects, we saw one that was translucent. We saw one that let some light pass through it. What one of our materials was translucent? Rock. The wax paper? The wax paper. It was translucent. You couldn't see through it perfect like you could the plastic wrap, but you could still let light through it. And you're able to see the form of an object, but it's not super clear. So one object that we oftentimes know that's translucent is going to be that jellyfish as well, where you can see through it partly. Light's going to be allowed through it partly, but it's not going to be that perfectly clear image as you're looking through it. So translucent. What's our word? Translucent. Perfect. So to quickly run through them one more time, we have instruments, lens, refraction, and translucent. Fine. It's falling out. Not a big deal. Okay, fabulous. Perfect. Yes, dear. Is that a picture of a boy and a baby? I'm confused.
No.
Yeah. This?
It's a jellyfish. It's a jellyfish.
That's a jellyfish.
But it looks like a baby's head on the side. Oh, yeah.
Hi. Sounds good. That is our jellyfish for translucent third graders. We are going to go ahead and start our read aloud, and today our read aloud is going to be back with Sam and Jack. When we left off, where were Sam and Jack headed? They're supposed to head to the fair in order to go to the house of